Anger towards yourself. Disappointment. Hatred. Finding yourself hopeless and isolated.
Hi, my name is Samra Zafar. I'm currently employed full-time with RBC Royal Bank as a commercial account manager. So that's an executive in the field of commercial banking. And I'm also a public speaker and a social entrepreneur. I have 2 children. I have 2 daughters, 15 years old and 10 years old. I feel great. I actually feel very happy in life, and I feel that every moment we have a choice to be happy or sad, and I choose to be happy. The hardest time in my life, I would say it was the hardest, but also the most rewarding, where I grew the most, and that was about 6 years ago when I made the decision to leave my marriage and became a single mother, was working multiple jobs, raising my children, and I was a full-time student as well. Very difficult, but also extremely rewarding, and I would not change it for anything. I felt very overwhelmed. I felt isolated at some point as well, because I had lost my family, had lost people that I considered to be my friends. And I felt like giving up a lot of times, but there was something in me that kept me going, this hope for a better future and a better life, and I was not ready to give up that hope. So while it was difficult, and I had many days where I just didn't feel I could go on, but those days were fast overcome by happy days. I think the biggest thing is self-belief and faith, and then also hope for a better future. I think when you're going through tough times and you keep that positivity alive, and you think to yourself that no matter what I'm going through right now, there are tons of other people in this world who have it far, far worse. And you have this desire in you to pick yourself up and pull yourself out of that hole that you found yourself in. It just it gives you a sense of strength that you didn't know you had. And I think having that in me, and having that positivity, and having that hope, and then also a lot of support around me, surrounding myself by the right people, that's what helped pull me through during those times. So when I was actually going through my separation and whatever ensued afterwards, I realized that there's a lot of support in terms of the crisis support for women that are going through abusive situations, your police and the shelters and everything. But after that comes the tough part too, really where you have to build your life from scratch, and there's not really a lot of support out there, because there's no one to hold your hand and sort of teach you the basics of life and life skills and things like paying your bills or getting your car fixed, or even just having friends and family around, because a lot of times women are isolated, and I was in that same situation. I felt very much alone, and a lot of women feel so overwhelmed and intimidated because of that they end up going back to similar situations, either with the same person or with other people. So my organization actually fills a gap in that framework. We provide mentorship, guidance, and support for women that have recently come out of abusive situations or have overcome some kind of a crisis. So we actually provide them with personalized guidance work. We provide mentorship, guidance, and support for women that have recently come out of abusive situations or have overcome some kind of a crisis. So we actually provide them with personalized guidance to help them rebuild their life and be successful and go back to school or get a job or build a social support circle around them, whatever it may be that they're lacking. This idea came to me while I was going through my tough times, and then because of the support and everything that I got at university, which I was very lucky to be in, I achieved a lot of success. I graduated as a top student at the University of Toronto. I won over 15 awards and scholarships, and their topmost award, the John Moss Award, I was the first mature student to win that in 2013. And because of all the nonprofit work, the public speaking work, and especially having my own nonprofit organization that I've been doing for the past few years, I was invited to join their board of directors as a governor this year. So I'm very blessed and very grateful to have that kind of support and recognition. But at the end of the day, I feel that I owe it not just to myself, but also to my daughters and to all the other girls and women out there, that to show them that if you believe in yourself and gather the right support around you, anything is possible. I think the biggest lesson that I've learned is that adversity is not bad. In fact, it's necessary, and going through tough times forces you to grow and uncover things about yourself that you never knew before. I never knew that I had this strength in me that I discovered during that time. I never knew that I'm a positive person. In fact, I used to think I'm a very negative person because I was stuck in an abusive marriage with no way out. And I was constantly feeling sorry for myself. But going through that time, I think it really made me realize that life is a huge gift. And we have that choice whether to let our tough times bring us down or just be better versions of ourselves. And something that I talk a lot about when I do my public speaking now is the gift of adversity. That when you actually are put through a tough time, it makes you better, stronger, and happier eventually. And once you realize that, I think that's a huge lesson, because now whenever I'm going through even small difficulties, I mean, life is never perfect, but I embrace it and I feel like, oh my gosh, this is my chance to grow some more or learn something new. And that gives a perspective that actually allows me to be happy in no matter what I'm going through. So even if I'm having a tough day at work, or even if I'm, not feeling very happy with my family or whatever it may be, I still feel that, you know what, it's okay. I can get through this. This day will pass. I think when you go through something as challenging as I did, it just gives you perspective that all these little things that we get stressed over about doesn't matter. And being happy is a choice that we make every day. The number one advice I would give is that listen to that voice in your head, which tells you you deserve better. There will be tons of people around you that will say that this is it, you should just succumb to your fate and you should just, be satisfied with what you have. And I was told that on a regular basis by my family and my ex-husband's family and other people. But then there was this voice in my head that said, no, maybe there is a way. Maybe you do deserve better. Maybe I do have a better life out there. Maybe there is a chance I can do something in life and get my education and move forward. And I thank God every day that I listen to that voice. So that's the number one advice. And then also reach out. There are good people out there. I would not be where I am if I didn't have that support. So surround yourself by people who believe in you and who give you hope. And also one of the most important things when you're going through a tough time is to give back. A lot of times we feel that we're going through such a tough time, how can we possibly help someone else? but no matter what you're going through, there are tons of people out there that have it far worse. So helping somebody and putting a smile on their face and helping them make their day better or make their life better, it gives you this immense strength. It's the most empowering feeling in the world, and it makes you feel that whatever I'm going through, I still have that power to make someone else's life better. And it just gives you an immense sense of satisfaction and happiness and helps you go through your difficult times much easier. So I think those are some of the key lessons that I've learned that I'd like to pass along. My best time in my life. Well, I think every day is the best day of my life, but if I had to pick a few key moments, I would say that when I became a top student at UT and I got my degree and won a lot of scholarships and awards. That certainly was the most powerful time of my life, because it showed me that self-belief can do wonderful things. And the best moment, however, came when my older daughter, one day we were out at lunch and she held my hand and she said to me, "Mom, I pray to God that every kid in the world has a mom like you." And that, I think, was 1,000 times more than all the awards combined. So that was definitely one of the best moments of my life.